am coming to you live from Celebrity Ascent as promised, and I am here to talk to you about cruise extras. And these are a little bit different here on Celebrity, but of course, the first one I want to talk to you about is, of course, your cellular. I always start each video telling you to contact your cellular provider prior to setting sail to find out what their policies are in terms of roaming, because I have gotten astronomical phone bills. So I also want to add, and I haven't said this before, but it's fresh in my mind because I did speak to my cell provider, which happens to be AT&T, prior to this cruise. And there is a cruise package which covers you when you're on the ship, in the water, at sea, and then there's also a separate international package that covers you when you're at the ports in other countries. Both have lists. So in the cruise package for AT&T, there are specific vessels or ships that are included in that list, just like there are specific countries that are included on the international and roaming list. So I would advise you to visit those prior to setting sail, or believing that you may be covered in one country and you get there and you're not, or you're covered on a ship and you get on the ship and you're not covered. So I've opted to go a different route this time, and I just did 1 day of international talk. Well, it's international everything. So 1 day in the Bahamas yesterday, I was able to call everyone and tell them that we wouldn't be able to talk to them this week unless they had iPhones, and that was like $13. That was from the Bahamas. And then we were doing airplane mode the entire time. So we're gonna see, because I just want a normal phone bill after traveling for a change. So more to come on that. And since we were already talking about internet and streaming, my son and I do have internet on 2 devices. So we can choose that internet on cell phones or laptops or iPads. And I have brought my iPad. I have been using it, but the programming in the rooms is pretty good. It's just like on the airlines where they have a bunch of movies that you can choose from. There's a lot of interesting ones that I've either not seen or haven't seen in a really long time. So my son and I have watched some of those. There comes a time when we don't want to watch the same thing, so we'll kind of turn our backs on each other and watch our devices, whatever we have there, because I have been using my Netflix a little bit since I've been here. A difference is the drink package. So we have a regular beverage package, which is really nice because it covers all beverages other than alcohol. So we can go to the bars and we can get virgin drinks. We've been getting drinks that we didn't even know you could get, but we've been doing a lot of pina coladas. Instead of the cups that they give you on Royal Caribbean, they actually hand out cans. So they'll provide you with cans if you're getting soda. If you're getting a virgin drink, they're going to give you a glass. We've gotten our coffee, so I've gotten my frappuccinos or whatever. They give you bottles of water, so those things are unlimited. They can see them on your CPass, and I actually think I like it, as opposed to carrying around a cup the entire time. And then many times when you're on those ships and you're using those soda machines, they're out of syrup a lot of times. You get a lot of carbonation, so I like the idea that they're giving you a can where you're getting the full drink without any, fizzy stuff, extra fizz or anything like that. So I like that. But it was expensive. It was several $100s. So I can only imagine what that alcohol package is looking like. So again, before you get on that website, look up all this stuff that I'm telling you about, because there's actually more than what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you about the necessities. So the spa package. Prices aren't even on the app, so we have to actually go down to the spa to find out what the prices will be. So that is a sign that it may be a lot. So I'm not sure if we're going to do the spa this time. We'll see. We do have a lot of downtime, and you'll learn more. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later on, or maybe I'll have my son tell you about it. The shore excursions, same thing. We're not big on excursions because we will arrive to a place and be like, we don't feel like doing this. So our first port was yesterday. It was Nassau, Bahamas, which was day 2 of the cruise. We were just in Nassau on our Carnival cruise in February for his winter break, and it was the exact same port, which we were happy about because we really enjoyed it. So we went back to the same place and got the same exact meal, same drinks and everything. But there were excursions. I did see people in their swimsuits with their towels. I don't know where they went because I didn't see a beach, but maybe there was one. The water was beautiful. But like I said, the list is exactly the same where you see the ATVs you can rent. I saw motorized scooters you could rent. There were a bunch of people who were doing taxi tours. They were all over the place. So there was no shortage of excursions on this cruise. We just did not partake in any. So budget for those as well. Meals on port days. Just talked about that. That particular port, which is actually Nassau, Bahamas. Sometimes you'll go to other areas, other places within the Bahamas, but that Nassau port, that food is expensive. So my son and I both got like snack meals, and we paid $18 a piece. And then with the drinks, my drink, I got a pina colada in a cup versus in a pineapple or in a coconut. And my drink was $14. And I got my son a virgin pina colada in a pineapple, and it was $20. So we spent not I mean that's a lot of money just to spend on a meal, and that's the only thing we did. We just got off the ship to eat, and then we got right back on because I wanted to see the ship to provide you with footage of it, which I'm going to do in another video. So I wanted to get everything so I could show you how exquisite this ship is, which I'm going to take a slight detour really quickly because I normally don't talk about the ship, but I've said in the past that I don't know whether or not Celebrity is for kids, and I'm going to let my son tell you that. But I will tell you that this ship is absolutely beautiful. Again, I'm on Celebrity Ascent. This is the newest ship in their fleet, and it is more like a yacht. I mean, everything is just breathtaking. It's beautiful. When I look at it, I'm like, kids enjoy it here, because that is just very, very upscale. So if you're looking for something grown up, then Celebrity is for you, and Ascent is top notch. This is probably the nicest ship I've been on in terms of upscale. Being upscale, it's very upscale, so it is not to be compared with Carnival or Royal Caribbean, because those ships are nice too. This one is just very, very high end chandeliers and everything all over. So very, very nice. I can't wait to provide you with what I've seen here on Celebrity and allow my son to tell you about his experience here because he's on spring break. Next thing is Gratuity, and Gratuity is no different. It's a little over $100 per person per cruise. I want to tell you about Gratuity also because their room service is not room service, but their cabin attendant, it's a little bit different than what I've experienced on other ships. And I've heard that this is normal on Celebrity, but they start cleaning the rooms in the morning and then they stop at 1 p.m. So if you're like us and you sleep all day, we missed our morning cleaning yesterday. So they have a turn down service that starts at 6, and we went out and we came back at like 8:30 and our room still wasn't clean, so we had to call the attendant and kind of get an understanding. So that is a little bit different. So I am waiting for my son to come out of the shower to see if we'll be able to get our room clean before 1 p.m. It's not looking like it, and we did lose an hour, so we'll see. But that's a little bit different. So I've talked to you before about tipping the room attendant at the end of your stay, and that's the reason I'm mentioning that. Um, he's still good though. He's really good. I still, probably still gonna tip him, but it's just very different because I'm used to coming back in the afternoon and seeing my room clean. And this is kind of like Virgin Voyages too, where you open up the room and the curtains open. So there's no curtain, but there's like a shade that comes up and down, and you really can't even tell whether it's day or night. It is a blackout shade, and I love that because I love my room to be pitch black and be stumbling over stuff in the middle of the night to get to the bathroom, and that is what this room gives. So I'll show you that in my cabin tour video. And then next, of course, is the cruise protection. 100% of the time I'm going to recommend it in case you need to cancel, skip a port, something like that, or just for anything that you don't have any control over. But those are the basics. Those are the basic extras that I've discussed in my other videos, and I wanted to fill you in on Celebrity. It's beautiful, definitely would sell Celebrity again, but if you can think of any more that I missed, I invite you to let me know in the comments, and I will be coming back to you with more information about Celebrity Ascent very soon.